Hey, here we go with game 2, and this is me versus Aerosauccer, who's also playing Hayley Kaplan. So, this is a pretty capable hand. Got lots of nice economy. It's got a Jackson to find some agendas. It's got a piece of ice to keep us safe. Now, one of the things I'm going to do here is that I'm going to ice up my HQ, even though I don't have anything to protect. I would rather have something on HQ in case of rogue siphons or vamps or things which are nasty than not give up the top card of my R&D to start off with. In a situation where I'm only installing one ice, I'll nearly always just put it over HQ. The upside to preventing some really horrible first turn stuff is worth giving people a free look at the top of your R&D, I think. And Aerosauccer is playing a super heavy connections Hayley deck with off-campus and a double fall guy. So what I'm actually worried about here is that this is some weird Hayley DLR nonsense that he's got going on. But as the game goes on, it becomes apparent that that is not the case. So Jackson does his thing, draws me into green level. Again, I love green levels in decks where you want event-based economy. They feel kind of super efficient. You don't feel like you're giving up a card, because you're obviously not giving up a card. But instead I'm going to stop giving him free looks at my R&D, in case he was going to take them, by putting the architect there. He can run my Jackson. There's nothing in my archives to trash, and I normally don't mind, as you've seen, people paying to trash my first Jackson. Normally I will then just fish it back out with my second, as me just making sure that I didn't absent-mindedly discard something critical into my bin before I let him do that. So I'm just expecting him to splurge out a bunch more resources here. The double all-seeing eyes in my hand are starting to look pretty tasty until he plays the source, and playing fast advance into the source is a pretty miserable experience that I have found. So what I really want to do now is find a way to get rid of that, either by scoring an agenda quickly or by triggering one of these all-seeing eyes. I haven't drawn anything particularly useful there, so I just green level, hedge, just keep building up my credits. My hopes here is that he thinks I'm trying to kill him, so he's hanging back, maybe looking for a way for me to stop himself being killed. That's giving me some time to look for some answers. Okay, so I've got a remote. Well, so what I did there, Sweepspeak obviously is best when your opponent has 5 cards, and Hayley so very rarely has 5 cards that firing them both off for maximum efficiency there turned out to be quite a good choice. He's just drawing up. Obviously, Hayley doesn't mind having lots of cards in hand if she can use her double install to install them for free. One click, what's he going to do? Nothing, and discard. Okay. I love Mother Goddess with nothing rezzed. It's such a great card. Obviously now what I really want is an agenda more than pretty much anything else. So my plan here would be to hard draw for an agenda, try and get that scored out behind the Mother Goddess that he can't break. There's an NA New Angeles City Hall, and that's pretty bad news, because that's going to shut down any chance I had of tagging him with like a breaking news or something. So the all-seeing eyes in my deck are starting to look a bit dead, but I can at least try and get this Astro out, advanced once because of the source, of course, behind this Mother Goddess. And here comes Katie Jones takes 9, test run for a Fem to override my Mother Goddess, and run on the Astro. It's a great play. It's a ghetto inside job. There's no point in me rezzing the ice, no point in me giving him a look at what he's bypassing That Fem's going right back onto the top of his stack, so we just have to give up the Astro at that point. So that wasn't great for us. Here's a bit of bad sequencing on my part. If I know that one of the things I'm going to do is install that Gutenberg, I should probably just draw again. If you are going to draw at all in your turn and you can sequence it right, drawing at the beginning gives you more options for what to do with the rest of your clicks. So if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to draw this turn, don't go install, install and draw twice. Draw twice and then install, because some of the cards you draw might be better than the ones you were originally going to install. Okay, so here's me following my own advice. I was going to install the Cyberdex, but I draw into the breaking news. And now I'm thinking, breaking news, I'm double iced in my remote so he can't Fem through again. So I install advance once. And my plan for next turn is double advance and breaking news him, and then use an all-seeing eye. Now, obviously, he's got 5 credits at the moment. My kind of hope here is that he's going to use some of them trying to get into that remote, or at least leave himself in a position where scoring this breaking news won't let him just dodge the tags with New Angeles. He's deep in the tank. I'm not sure whether he's got a good response to this. There's a clone chip. So in his situation here, maybe you just have to give up this agenda. If you don't think you can get in and get it, he installs an R&D interface and takes 2, which helps me immensely, because now I can go advance, advance, score. He's only got 2 credits, which means he can only dodge 1 of the 2 tags from the breaking news here, which he does. And then on my last click, I all-seeing eye him, which makes him real sad. So he's already used 1 fall guy to prevent the New Angeles trashing from the scored agenda, and now he's trying to figure out the timings for what he can save. As you'll see in chat, the answer is he can prevent 2 things being trashed with those 2 fall guys, but if any of the things he wants to save are already hosted on his off-campus apartment, he has to save that as well. Otherwise, preventing the trash effect on, say, Katie Jones and the source, but then trashing the apartment will cause Katie Jones and the source to be trashed as well. So in this situation, he's in not a great position. He's going to lose a bunch of the stuff that he's just installed. Trimath is probably going to ping him for a couple of damage. So at this point he's saying, I'll just save 2 of my resources. So this is where I have to kind of step in and say, hey, actually you can save your off-campus apartment and 1, or your same old thing and your New Angeles City Hall. Which is not ideal from his point of view, having invested so much in all of those resources as well. So this is why the all-seeing eyes are there for a specific matchup, but as you can see, if you can fire off 1 of the 3 breaking news in the deck, when you've got that all-seeing eye in hand, it can be a huge swing. All-seeing eye, not just to kill DLR Val, it turns out. And yeah, so the guy actually packs it in as a result of losing all his resources, and sadly that's the end of the game.